Yo, y'all know what time it is. It's Sunday paintball, so it's time for our episode to drop. This is Black Ball PB Podcast, which we'll work on that. We're here now with Corey, JP, my two best friends. We're going to interview Gavin and Hunter today, and we're going to kick it off with just letting Gavin tell you about who he is first.
All right, what's up, everybody? This is Gavin from Order 66 Paintball and Apparel and Order 66 Lair Podcast. Been doing the apparel merchandise media thing now for about 10 years at Order 66. Been doing the podcast thing now for about 6 years. I started off during COVID when we were all at home, nothing else to do. It was a fun time, getting it started, but we're still here after 6 seasons. Thankful for all our supporters and our sponsors, and just love talking paintball on life with my boys.
That's super dope. 6 years is a long fucking time, and I'm glad to have you on. I'm glad to learn from you. I'm glad to dig in that brain today. Hunter, what you got for us?
Let's see what's in there.
Yo, I'm Hunter, Planet Paintball Podcast, Greenville, South Carolina, focusing on the Southeast, history, current players. But we got some boys from Texas. We've had Gavin from New York on. We got my New Jersey boys on, and we got some Colorado boys coming on here soon. So
is it Blitz? Is it Blitz or Demolition, or who is it?
No, so I had Altitude Sickness has already dropped.
That's right.
Okay, and then I got my boy Johnny Blanco's team.
Okay,
Southwest Sabotage coming on. The three boys that started that are going to come on and chop it up this week with me, so they'll be out in a couple weeks. After this one, after this releases, it'll be a week or two.
All right, chat. So I brought these boys on for two reasons, right? We want to learn from them, make our podcast better, so we don't go through such a long growing pains like they did. I feel like they've done a really good job with what they got going on. Plus, I want to get them to react kind of like they would get me to react or other people. We're going to get their raw emotions. We're going to get into some shit. And I'm going to let Corey or JP take it from here, whichever one wants it first.
I think I took last week.
Yeah. So I guess first off, I know Gavin touched on a little bit, like what really inspired you guys to start your podcast? Because we know what inspired us. We just, Nora's going through depression. I'm a stepdad and just don't have nobody to talk to outside of my wife. JP's just here to hang out. So like what kind of inspired you guys to start your podcast?
Gavin, you hit it.
Well, for me, it was we have a really close knit paintball community here in the Northeast. There's a few whole fields that everybody's a clique, and like I said, when I started during COVID, we're all at home, gonna be hanging out at the field. We're just like in here and just like it was just a clusterfuck. And I miss my boys. I miss my teammates. You guys know the camaraderie of traveling and being your teammates. I just missed that. And I don't remember what I was watching while we're here in quarantine, and I said, I saw a podcast, so I'm like, yo, that'd be cool if I could still talk to my boys and we could talk shit. And I basically YouTubed it for a couple weeks, like what's the best ways, watch a couple different podcasts, and had some growing pains. I think the first time I did it on my iPhone. I downloaded, I think it was Anchor at the time, Anchor FM was the tool that we had, and it had some cool things. It had some stuff that sucked, but you figure it out and make it work. And we started off with that. We talked about missing the field and COVID and how we've been affected by it, and it just grew from there. Talked to players locally, and we started getting players from further out in the Northeast, players from down in Louisiana, and it's all type of players. Whether you play mech ball, scenario, speedball, just paintballers, and I've even had content creators on, because like you guys are doing. Like, I don't know everything, so I want to get other content creators on and tap in and like, hey, what you're doing this well, blah blah blah. Do you have any tips for me? So there's like stuff like that, and also like other movers and shakers in the industry. Like I've had Chris from Underon, because Chris has been doing great. I think I had him on in like season 3 or season 4, and we talked about the growing pains under. So it's nice just as a community get a whole bunch of players on. Lately, I've kind of switched the focus a little bit and more focusing on mechanical, like the ICPL, that league, just because I feel like Speedball and NXL gets their airtime, whatever division you play in. Scenario, they have their outlet, but a lot of people really don't know about mech and how that shit is just dope and how that shit is violent as fuck. And just like how
I wanted to learn more about it, but you said you'd help me get on a team. It never happened, so.
Listen, we're still trying to make something happen here, but
I guess I'm trash.
No, listen. But the thing is,
He
honestly,
said, I
a
ain't
lot of these
crashing out
teams.
on this podcast.
Right.
I ain't crashing out on this one already.
Oh, we lost.
Oh, we dropped him. Crazy.
Oh, no.
I scared him away.
Gavin said,
All
"Get
right.
out of here with this."
Let's stick with this theme of mech until we get him back. Speaking of mech, me and Hunter. So this is going to drop the day after we play, but me and Hunter are going to go play mech this Saturday coming up, and this
That's what he was
episode will
saying,
drop
yeah.
Sunday. So
Little-
I plan on crushing that. But
reunion.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
What
listen,
happened?
what's up? You there? Your
happened?
screen's red though.
Hold on. Let me
He's
come
got
back
the
here.
camera off.
Yes. It's all good. I didn't want to play.
There's some shit crashed.
I asked, and they said they didn't need you. That's
Nah,
crazy.
it's all good. I couldn't play anyway. It's all good.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, we're
back.
baby. I mean, we never left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I scared you off, big dog, I'm sorry. You know?
No, I said I got this. I thought you pulled a plug on me because I didn't get you on the team. I'm like, damn. It's like,
I do get that salty. For sure.
He's like, nah, wait, this nigga ain't on the show no more. Fuck that nigga.
Said that shit. Said that.
Honestly, though, like that was the thing. This highlight ICPL. We've had a lot of ICPL players on. The ICPL is really cool because that's, I think, one of the few places that you can still see a lot of the legends. You can play against legends, and that's cool. And shoot the shit with them after. So I've been highlighting that and focusing that this season. It's been going pretty well. And we've like I said, I started off with Anchor, but now I've utilized more tools, and now Riverside is really clutch for me. Like makes my life so much easier. Especially when trying to do different things and social media wise and stuff. So I'm still having fun with it, you know what I mean? And hope to continue to grow it, like I said, in our 6th season right now.
Cool.
Dope.
Sick.
Hunter, can you give us a basis on why you started Planet Paintball podcast?
Yeah, so I wanted to tell Carolina stories and stories of my buddies, right?
Plenty
so,
of those.
Oh, okay. He had to add buddies. I was about to roast his ass. I was like, okay, how come we all in all these other fucking regions then?
I got all these other fucking regions. But I really want to highlight the divisional guys, from semi-pro down to the D6 shit. And that's a real thing. But
those are just overrated.
yeah, and like there's stories here, and like a new guy pops or a new pro team pops up, you get like a 5-minute clip about them and their semi-pro season. How cool would it be? And this is what I thought to myself: if you could go back and be like, find them when they were D3,
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
and kind of create that, and also like add value to the guys that want to come on this show, or my show, or your show too. They can come
We
tell
might
their
not
story,
last.
shout out their sponsors. I hope you guys last because you guys are fire. I've enjoyed it.
Listen. This will carry on out of spite regardless.
No,
Like,
how much
views,
we
no
buy-
views.
how
This
much
thing's
we
carrying
buy-
on out of spite.
I was
thing's
that
carrying
fucking
on.
TV at him yesterday. I swear to God. I said,
I love that fucking energy.
Yeah.
That's what Gavin said. He wanted us to create something for camaraderie because we know how it is. I'm like, no, we don't.
No, we don't. Like, we thought we came into paintball for that, and it's like all we found is just like baby back bitches. That's what we found. Baby back
Which
bitches.
is why we're
I always say the cabal culture. That's one of the things I hate about paintball. The cabal culture is fucked up. You know what I mean? And it really can take the joy out of it a lot of times. But that's a whole other topic. Yeah, you're right.
No, there ain't no whole talk. We getting on that.
Hold on, yeah. Hunter, go
Let's get back
ahead,
to
run through and finish.
And then 100%. Yeah.
Okay, no,
Carolina,
that's
Carolina
great.
ball is like, especially back then, is wild though. It's kind of
Oh
Was
yeah.
elite.
seemingly
We were
taking a
elite back
backseat.
then.
Yeah,
For sure.
Well, and
Really?
like you have Dark Carnival, you have Gridlock, you have Trauma, and there's just not a bunch of shit out there. And you guys got like Fracture, you got Mantis Factory, like FS. Fuck, I just
Carolina
did an interview
Threat.
with Josh.
you know.
Carolina Threat, yeah.
Say it like you
after
know
hours.
them, Hunter. You don't let them vote you into saying some bullshit. Let's go. 3-man team that lasted in 2014. Shut up.
I'll get a Carolina.
I was
threat
around,
money sent your way.
unfortunately.
Don't
Hey,
worry.
listen, Hunter, on this one, you ain't got to deal with that bullshit. Don't just keep coasting by. Like, you should have been like, who the fuck is Carolina Threat? That's what I said to him.
No, but I've
Exactly.
actually heard of them. That's the problem.
This is Carolina Threat right here. It's Carolina Threat paintball right there.
CFOA 2014. Sit down.
CFOA
so, yeah.
D6 3-man.
That's right. You rep that hard.
Oh,
All right.
I
You
still
just
have
You
have
still
to
got
this
it.
day.
You still
Still
got
have
it.
it to this day. That's all I got.
But it was, really telling those guys stories that I wanted to do because I wanted to know them. Like, I knew them from a little field rat, right? Hopping around. Like, for those that don't know, I grew up at Planet Paintball, which was home of Absolute Carnage, which then turned into Dark Carnival. And, like, these guys were gods to me. But, like, there was
hold
no
up. Is that
no
why
coverage.
you named it that? Is that why you named it that?
Yeah, so I've gotten into this on a couple of mine, but so Joe Kavanaugh, who was the owner of Planet Paintball and like the founder of Absolute Carnage, passed away in '06 in a car wreck. And he was like my supreme older brother. Came in paintball and him came into my life at like really difficult time. Dad had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and I really like. I don't have an older brother. I have a younger brother, and I needed a place to vent. Paintball's great for that. And Joe well, for me it was.
Must be white privilege. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, that might be my privilege going through. Who knows?
I'm just messing. I love you to death. You know it.
Oh, I know it. But like, so when he passed away, we restarted Carnage, and when I left and then came back, I joined the Relapse Boys, which that's like
Shout out to Andy. Go sucking dick.
Yeah, shout out Andy and Kev. I'm gonna shout out Kev.
Does Kevin own it? Yeah, Kev.
Kev was a big part of that one. But it was. When I was thinking of names, I wanted to interview all these people, but obviously focus on Carolina shit. And Planet Paintball just kind of made sense, and it was a great way to pay homage to my own history, right, growing up. So that's how I picked my name. So, and like originally, like my thought process on this podcast was like it was going to be me and my brother drinking booze and just talking shit, but I couldn't get him to commit. So
that's a good start.
Yeah. So that's how I came about. It started. We're almost 6 months in. 51 episodes released.
Let's talk about that. First of all,
4 in the can.
You're not even a year in, and I feel like 1, there's a shit ton of episodes in a good way. 2, like it just doesn't give me the vibe of the podcast, and that's why I honestly wanted you and Gavin on at the same time, because y'all have 2 totally different vibes. But I knew Gavin been in the game for a while, so long that I didn't even know when he started, and I knew that you were technically new, but it just didn't feel that way. And I'm like, there's got to be some contrast here, right?
Yeah,
it's dope what both of y'all are doing.
I would have never guessed that it was that it's only been 6 months, because there's like a big difference between guest, right? Like it's not like, hey, I've got Ryan from this team next episode, I've got Brian from this team next episode. Okay, I got Jeff from this team, and it's all the same team. It's literally like I'll see names pop up like I was scrolling through it because I drive for a living, so every day I'm driving. So on podcasts, it's all I listen to is podcasts. And at this point,
let's not skip over this since you like me to crash out. Talk your shit. Why don't you listen to Gavin's shit while you driving though? Let's start right there.
So
Gavin, you've been talking shit. You've been talking shit, Gavin.
Who the fuck said I didn't listen to Gavin's shit?
He said because yours behind paywall. He said because yours is behind a paywall.
I ain't paying. Y'all tripping. Hey, listen. I thought we were talking about hunters. We'll get through to that because I definitely want to know about like the
analytics
reward,
of paywall versus no paywall.
Benefit. sort of payoff.
So you've touched on it. You've touched on it, and I'll say this. Like, let's jump right into it because people have asked me over the seasons, right?
Son.
And I will say this. They said, "Oh, there's a lot of free podcasts out there. Blah 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 blah. Why do I have to pay for your podcast?" And I'm like, well, number one, I've been doing it for 6 years. Number two, I've spent a lot of money on equipment and my time for this, and fuck you, pay me.
And number three, my dick's bigger is what he said to you. He said his dick's bigger.
I'm being honest. Like, I feel like I've brought value over 6 seasons, and it's just like Netflix. You can cancel anytime the fuck you want. When you have access to it, you have access to the ones that we're doing now, the ones in the past, and everything coming in the future.
That was my next thing. Is I didn't know if it was per episode or if it's no. It's
literally I use Netflix as my business model. That you can subscribe, you have access to everything we're doing, and you can cancel anytime. I know people don't like to be locked in, and I try to keep it affordable because I know paintballers are cheap as fuck. So I figure $5. If you can spend $45 on a fucking case of paint, you can spend $5 to hear some paintball stories. That's my thought process, and I'm not gonna lie. I know probably a lot of people like, nah, I'm not gonna do it, and that's okay because we're not for everybody. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be for everybody. There's a lot of different podcasts out there. I try to have a different variety of guests so that keep it interesting. And I feel like it's good value. And thankfully, my subscribers have agreed with me over the years because I'm still here.
Hey, chat, just know I gave you a loophole today. This was a cheat code. I'm giving you free content from Gavin, so you hit up my Venmo. Don't leave me stranded.
Find him at Cup and throw him a Proflex strap or something. Make him happy.
Anything. I'm hurting out here. I'm hurting.
Yeah.
So, but I like I said, I drive every day, so I'm listening to podcasts. And the Planet Paintball ones that I get it constantly. It'll flip between like a couple different podcasts I listen to. And that one pops up. And the other day, I had one pop up with the Lennon family. So I know
they go long.
I know all of them a little bit, and I was. It was cool because I've played with them. I've never been friends with them, but I've played with them a bunch through scrimmages, through us back in Adventure Beach. I've been around them, but I've never heard anything story-wise from them. So that was cool to see. So it's just neat seeing all these old teams pop up in South Carolina in conversation because like GLK used to be terrifying. You see GLK on a schedule, like that's a scary team.
Was
yes.
Mm.
So
and I just feel like the GLK is just smoke now in general. I could be completely off on that, but I feel like GLK is just now smoke.
Yeah,
there's a lot of crossover for sure. The smoke guys wanted a new name and a new thing. You can
putting
go
in the
listen
work
to that episode. They're putting in the work. But a lot of them there are heavy GLK roots for sure in that organization. So
it took me granted I was new to the scene then, so this is like I guess we're in like maybe late 2014, 2015 when we go to Bash at the Beach. Is that what we go to, guys? I'm learning about them then, and it took me a while to find out what GLK even stood for.
Same.
And like I didn't like it until I knew what it stood for.
I don't think I learned until about 3 years ago.
Yeah, Corey, I'm right there with you. I don't think I knew what GLK ever stood for until about 3 years ago.
I learned about it the year after that bash.
What does it stand for?
Gridlock.
Gangland crew.
I thought it was Gridlock Kids.
That's what I thought. We still don't know.
See, yeah,
you have no idea. You never. No, it's Gangland crew.
Okay, Corey. Well, I'm glad that I'm not crazy because I'd have looked real dumb there. So we can look dumb together. That's cool. That's kosher.
So,
Gridlock.
But speaking of names, Hunter, when we go play this mech event, you said we're playing under Relapse.
Yeah, we're playing as Relapse.
So let's talk about Hunter and his group of goons that I keep somehow getting linked to. I don't think I've ever played 2 events with him where we've had the same name, and this will be the 6th event I've probably played with him, and probably the 4th year. Like I've played like the last 4 Tidman CFOAs in December. I played 2 the last retro mech events. just weird how Andy and Kevin can't get their shit together, or Josh Conley. I never know who's even steering the boat half the time. I just get my ticket and I get on, and I think that's how they got those boys back in the day, Gavin. They told them they was going on vacation. Because my theory is, ain't no fucking way you get that many black dudes on a boat in a cage with a gun that you have to take a stick to put in another pellet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna jump that dude. You can't trick me on this boat. You know what I'm saying?
No, thank you. No, thank you.
All right, so I guess my first question is, when y'all started y'all's podcast, right? Knowing what you know now, what would you have done different at the very beginning stages?
And I think we'll keep the same order too, just to make it simple with Gavin and then Hunter. Unless y'all want to audible at the box, let me know.
Yeah, because like Gavin,
Unless y'all want to audible at the box, let me know.
No, because there's it's really a laundry list, but
I mean, especially 6 years deep.
Just give me one of the most top.
The one thing I think I would have done differently is maybe stay away from non-paintball stories. I think I tried to veer off a little bit and test my feet off in non-paintball, and yeah, it was cool, but then I think that kind of hurt me off a little bit. I think because I did that in like season 2 and season 3. And I'm like, nah. Then I realized, nah, fuck that. Just stick to what we do. You know what I mean? Don't. And sometimes it's true. You just gotta stick to your roots. You know what I mean? So I think that'd be the one thing that I wouldn't have messed around with. Talking to people like outside of paintball. Which, funny enough, some of them did well, but overall, I think it hurt me a little bit. Just to develop my identity. You know what I mean?
Do you think that's like that because you didn't start out like that? Like, do you think if you started out partially paintball and partially outside of paintball that it would have been different, or did you start out like that?
No, that's a good point. Maybe that would have been that was it, because when we started, like I said, it was during COVID, so we're talking with mostly paintballers, like and pure paintball, and also a little bit of COVID, because obviously that was kind of huge at the time. You know what I mean? And how COVID was affecting us. You know what I mean? So, but then after that, I just thought, because especially with me being a hustler and an entrepreneur, it would be cool to bring other entrepreneurs on and talk about what they're doing, la-da-da, and stuff in the community. And that, it just didn't pan out how I thought it was going to pan out. I wasted too much time and energy in it, I think,
Maybe it didn't correlate with the viewers you had at the beginning? Is that?
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. My listeners at the time ready to be like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, can we hear about somebody bunkering somebody or some shit? You know what I mean? Got it. So Hunter, that's it. Like, before you answer it, Hunter, because I want that answer too, but like, I hope it connects to how in the fuck do you go only 6 months and get the views and the followers you have in 6 months, bro? Like, maybe you don't have something you wish you'd done differently.
So I will tell you, there's something I will be changing after the first year. 2 episodes a week is a lot, right? Like, it's a lot of work. There's these, and I love the conversations, but and we touched on it before we started recording. I keep it at an hour, right? But what you don't see on the back end is I'm editing for an hour, and then I'm getting some weird feedback.
I think it's from Gavin's mic.
Okay. Oh, it's because you took your headphones off.
Oh. Good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I think so.
He's texting his hoes. Yo, he's doing his entrepreneur work.
No. I got a Latina. You're trying to get me stabbed, sir.
Yeah, I know. Sure is. I seen your ass in the over there in the other country.
All right, we good?
You may have to turn us down just a little bit. I think, because we're still coming through.
Yeah, I think that fixed it.
I think that's good.
I think it's frozen. I think Gav's
frozen. Being frozen fixed it.
Damn, that's crazy. Like, we always got the problem.
the shorts and stuff. That's
paywall.
like another hour per episode. So you're looking at like 4 hours per episode, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's not counting like the artwork and stuff, which I all do. I do that all myself. And then the uploading and stuff, because you got to do it to optimize. You're supposed to do it 24 hours beforehand, right? So you want to upload, give it 24 hours to sit in the system, at least with YouTube, and then it goes live. And then you want to run it as a premiere and all this other crap.
Right, notes, producer.
Got it. How far ahead doing it twice a week do you have people nailed down?
Shit.
Because I know, like, especially judging off the last one, I know it was sort of, it felt like it was like a bounce around. I'm gonna do this one tomorrow. The Don interview.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was, a little loose, but
yeah. So I try and schedule 2 per week, and there's normally a week in between recording and going live, right? So, there's that. Because I do edit, I just don't upload and go. Because I have had conversations where people are like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. Can we take that out? Absolutely, but it does take some time.
Listen,
Not
I
Norris.
already told Norris and them.
You keep that option?
We're keeping that bleeping out shit to a minimum because I am not going back through this and editing.
Well,
So if you say
we know
something,
you're
you
not
better
an
stand
artist
on
like
it.
these two, right?
Hey,
Like
if you
what
say
I love
something,
about
stand on it.
Gavin's is he gets a sound bite from his person and they introduce themselves and say they're going on this thing. And what I love about his is he gets imagery for his, but like we don't do any of that. Like I would have loved to done that with them, but like we're not even there yet. We don't do clips. We don't do sound bites. Like I
Listen,
want
bro.
these.
We
I
gotta
want them to
get a
figure out
schedule
how I
down
want an
first.
intro.
So,
Listen,
I want an intro
You
song.
brought up a good point. You brought up a good point,
Interesting.
Norris, that I noticed that I'm a really big into analytics, and I'll go back and I'll track where things go back. And there's been a huge uptick since I started using those clips and using the right hashtags and stuff. And I have found that since because I was only doing audio before. It's only in the last 2 seasons that I switched over to video. And the video is exclusively available on Spotify. Every other platform, it's only the audio, but Spotify is where you can see and watch everything. And that's when my viewership went up, especially last year in Spotify when I got my, the Spotify a thing that they do Wrapped, and it was really huge how those clips could generate interest in that episode, and people would come in and tap in on stuff. So I would definitely advise you guys, like, if you're able to utilize those clips, and like Hunter said earlier, like it's a pain in the ass to do editing. But one
I
thing,
have a producer that's a Jew and he's kind of an asshole. So, but we'll introduce him at another time. It's hard to keep throwing stuff on his plate.
But to make
this
the producers life easier,
this man's already verbally assaulted me in front of you guys 3 times in the last fucking 5 minutes. We're 2 episodes deep, and he's like, "Hey, why?" I've watched Joe Rogan, and he's got this guy named Jamie.
Yeah,
and like, hey, why don't we have a $400 million recording
budget,
scene?
baby?
Like, how come we don't have this and that? If he would have stayed in the call last week and heard me and Corey talking, he'd know that Corey's working on clips.
Listen, he wants everything done like right now. When I'm trying to tell him we just need to focus on scheduling. So we'll go ahead and tell y'all it's coming out in this episode that we just dropped today. This podcast basically didn't even almost exist. What day was that? Tuesday?
Fucking Tuesday, probably. Tuesday.
We didn't make it to this episode. This is episode 3, and we didn't make it.
We almost
to this
didn't make
episode.
it. Just off of having y'all 2 on here alone, it was
it was about that.
Central.
'Cause I wanted to audible to y'all for episode 2, and they acted like I just committed a sin. And I'm like, they're like, you're bringing this up last minute. I said, motherfuckers, we already talked about having them. We said episode 3. It was me moving them up
Corey,
episode.
Corey,
so detrimental.
It wasn't.
So detrimental.
It wasn't Tuesday, and I remember this because it was exactly 4 hours before we fucking recorded that he changed.
No, that's when you saw it, motherfucker, because you was on a date.
Listen, all right. So Hunter and Gavin, just out of curiosity here.
I was gonna say this will segue.
Imagine that you have co-hosts, right? Like you've got 2 other co-hosts, and you're all 33% each in on this podcast.
Now.
You're all 33% each on this podcast, and y'all come up with a game plan. We're doing this. All right, cool, sweet. we're not
One's
having
34%, but when you add all these numbers up,
we're not
34
having a guest,
and 66.
We're not having a guest until at earliest episode 4. All right, cool. And then day of recording, hey, by the way, I changed everything up. I talked to everyone.
We already went back and looked at the tape, chat. Hold on, whoa. We already looked back at telling the truth, Corey. We looked back. We already audibled and said we'd have guests before episode 4, and you got salty, and I even agreed. I didn't get mad at first. I said, you're right. If you're the producer and you're having a problem with visuals and you're not ready or prepared, and it already looks like trash as it is, and I'm just playing. You've done a hell of a job. Like, JP has made magic out of water for sure.
So speaking of make magic out of water, Corey, I'll highlight at you real quick. I'll tell you what will make your life easier, and Hunter will co-sign on this. Download Riverside, bro.
Riverside.
Like literally, it will make your editing life so much. The AI software, like because as you know, technology will fuck up from time to time.
Yep.
And the AI software really helps with human error, Wi-Fi fuck up, whatever echo fuck up most of the time. Like it really will make it. So download it, and you will thank us later. And whatever questions you have, reach out to us. It's so intuitive. Like everything's so easy. One click here, fix that. Boom, boom, boom. Sweet. Hunter does a lot of more things with it than I do because he's more tech savvy.
Hunter, like, does this YouTube do this automatically? Like when I go and I search you, if I don't go on your actual page on YouTube, if I just search your name, there's like so many clips and shorts. Like I'm on TikTok on YouTube, and I was like, I didn't even know YouTube did that. And second, like, are you purposely doing that?
Okay, yeah. And Hunter, I hate to cut you off here. Before you even answer this, the guy who wants to boss around the tech of the show doesn't know that fucking YouTube Shorts exist. I'm just saying, all right? Leave it up to me and Corey.
When you're the man with the idea, you get the right people in the right spot. Don't help me learn that you're not the right guy.
You're Steve Jobs. I got the recording. Corey's got the clips. There we go. We're all important. Look at that. It's awesome.
So I guess that'll kind of segue into the next topic. So, like, speaking of having
guests, did Hunter finish?
I don't know.
Was that the only thing that you wish you didn't do 2 episodes a week?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, but here's the thing: the 2 episodes a week was intentional, right? Especially once I started rolling, like, I'd have you on, I'd have someone else on. Both give me like someone else to talk to. So now I got 2 that would lead into me calling someone else. And then it just got to a point.
Do you think that's what helped you get your followers where it's at?
Oh, absolutely. Like the followers and then the shorts on YouTube and the daily reels, because I don't think there might've been one day where I fucking forgot to upload a reel, but there's been a reel every day since I started this thing. I'm pretty sure. Maybe in the first couple weeks.
Clutch for you.
And it was all about producing content to get the show's name out there and pass around, right? And the nature of both Gavin and I's show is we're interviewing someone. So what's great about that is I've now tapped into your network, right? So when I interviewed you, I tapped into your network. And then when I interview someone else, I tap into their network. And at least their mom and dad and teammates are signing in to watch it for 5 minutes.
I don't know if my mom's ever seen me on anything on paintball.
So
I'm sad about that.
Well, I can tell you from your numbers, a lot of people came on.
But you just scared me though, because talking about, believe it or not, I 100% couldn't do this without Corey and JP. But we already have a lot of trials already, and it's hard now even doing these just 4 every week. And like if we go to bi-weekly, that's not going to be good for us. So we have to at least stay, I guess, every week. And this shit's tough already, bro.
So here's the thing, right? It is tough. You got to have like 50 clips or something to really get into the algorithm of YouTube, right? Okay. Or 50 uploads. They want to see that you're consistent, but consistency is more important than frequency. So if you are going to upload every Sunday, then upload every Sunday. If you are going to upload every other Sunday, then upload every other Sunday. Like that's what you need to do. Now you guys are in the beginning stage. You need a little clump. So when people find you, they're like, oh fuck, I like this podcast, right? I want to listen to the other one right away, and that gets it in their brain. So you need to do at least the first 4 weeks need to be consistent. And then if you want to go every other week, cool, make it well known. But then you have a little bit of a library for people to go through, right? So I dropped 3 episodes, my first 3, I think a day apart, just so like there was a library there of people, so people could listen through shit. But I'd like, up until recently, I was a teacher. I had winter break off. Every winter break, I dive into something fucking random and don't think about teaching. And the podcast thing had been in my brain for like 2 years. And there was something that sparked like, fuck, I gotta go and jump on this now. And we can talk about that later. But like, I just dove in over winter break. What do I need? What's the best mic to get? What's the best software? Riverside's the best software. I looked at all of them. And they aren't paying me. God, I wish they were paying me at this point. But
hey, my boy. Hey, my boy. He's a teacher who's now gone into film and editing and advertising on his own. That man needs it, and he deserves it.
Yep. Yep. So we got some new things cooking. Working in real estate now, but also doing marketing on the side. So, and it came from this. Like my new job came from my podcast because an old teammate saw me and was like, "Hey, you can do that. I want to bring you in. There's a lot of talking to people and part of it, and then I want you to take over the marketing." Great. Like, I'd love to do it. So that's a long answer. I can't even remember the damn question.
That was perfect. And so leading off that, we'll give the audience a little bit of insight of how like we bicker behind closed doors. So now that we heard that, I want to put this on chat so they kind of see like the frustration us 3 go through. We would normally say, hey, I know we said, and this is what I would do because I'm always so quick with it. And this is what JP, like, I love about me and I hate about me. And I'm sure he feels the exact same way. I'm like, well, fuck, now we have to commit to every week for the first year. He's like, well, fuck no, that wasn't the damn thing. Like, I ain't got time for this shit. And I could be assuming JP could be on board.
He's
I don't know.
making that up. I want to do weekly. I never once said anything about bi-weekly.
Okay,
Weekly's
I
easy.
Bet. Corey, what's up? What's your vote?
I'm good with weekly. I'm good.
Solved. This is the most classic Norris creating a problem in his head before it's actually a problem. Like, y'all see how easy this is? Well, JP's probably going to tell me to fuck myself, and Corey's probably going to say that he's got kids and he can't do anything. Hey, so what do you guys think about weekly? I'm cool. All right, sweet. Solved. Done immediately. Look at that.
If I set the bar low, then I'm excited for wherever we finish. But Gavin, right? So he says what helped him was that many episodes that fast. Do you agree with that or disagree with that? Or do I go down that rabbit hole or do I say fuck that?
Listen, I always say different strokes for different folks. You got to work with what you feel
that's that bullshit.
No, give us that bullshit. No, I'm honest because what works for Hunter or what works for me, you can take bits and pieces of it and make it work for you, but it may not necessarily everything may not work for you. So I'm saying you got to figure out what works best for you because
I just try to put you in debate.
Multiple episodes a week is really putting a strain on the product that you're trying to put out. Now, yes, you're putting out quantity, but are you putting out quality? I mean, so there's that balance.
Don't let him push you into an argument.
I love it. So the reason why I try to make this into a debate.
Yo, Hunter just called you a bitch, though. Is what Norris is doing right now.
We watched this video on like starting a podcast, and it literally said like, don't critique everything, don't worry about getting anything perfect, pump out as much content as you can, and like change it immediately as you go. Like view it all, look at it, keep changing it, and like. Don't get so focused on if you really love the name, if you love the setup, like just change it as you go. And so it seems like Hunter's kind of the proof of his concept, but what that guy didn't talk about was like how you got where you were, right? And it's like, I don't really know the actual ingredients for this sauce, and I'm trying to cut corners, bro.
Well, hang on real quick. I have cheat codes in my back pocket, right? Okay.
Give them to me, Daddy.
I have some cheat codes in my back pocket. I did graphic design in college. Like I took a class in that.
Got that.
Okay.
No, got that. Continue.
All right, so go ahead and chalk that one. You got anything more basic?
Well, Canva's great. If you are not into Canva, man.
Norris, you got Canva?
You know what the fuck that is? That is another.
I went over and
program?
set this man's Discord up 2 weeks ago.
It sounds like a damn fruit. What's Canva?
It's a fruit. It's a fruit. Go ahead. Go ahead, Hunter.
Then my dad started low power radio stations. So these are little radio stations. They go about a mile, 2 miles, and he specialized in making them for communities. So like you got a fancy little country club community, he go in and set up a radio station for you. All right. So with that, I've been around like the talking, and I hate talk shows. That's the ironic part. I love podcasts. I hate talk shows because they're in the morning. I just want to listen to my fucking music in the morning. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to hear your janky ass stuff in the morning. But
I kind of miss radio sometimes. I'll never listen to it anymore.
Yeah, it's overrated. But because of that, like I was comfortable being on the mic, right? And I'm a teacher. I'm used to standing up in front of children and speaking. Now, speaking in front of adults is different, but this is really more of a conversation in between me and the four of you guys. Like this is sitting around the field and having a conversation.
A table talk.
So yeah, table talk. I mean,
I'm throwing jabs here. Don't worry about me. You continue.
Or round table, paintball round table, whatever. Like I had that stuff set up and then learned about the podcasting, and like I really jumped in, like what Anchor, Gavin, right? Anchor was like the predecessor to Riverside, right? And because I was in radio and stuff, I knew all that. I knew about Anchor, and I had always loosely followed it. And when I jumped in, like Riverside made it so easy, like it. And I really studied the other podcasts. I studied the PTGs. I studied, From the Sidelines. All these others, I'm blanking on names now, but
it doesn't matter.
But I studied how they
newsy.
But I studied how they built their presence, right? Like that's why I decided on Riverside. Riverside will do video for me, right? It'll break it down into clips for me, so I can have daily clips. So I can have something that's gonna, that was interesting. Maybe I hit that button and go over and listen to the full podcast. And then I can't remember who, but someone brought up all the fucking shorts, right? Well, yeah. So when I discovered how shorts work, in that you can link into something, all my shorts, they link into the full episode.
Huh.
So if you come across a short and it's Corey from Smoke,
me taking notes,
and you like what he's saying, you can click on that and go straight into the full episode if you want. And they're scattered out. I used to put out so many shorts that associated with episode at a certain time, so the shorts would land why the episode was still in its prime, which when I consider an episode in its prime, I'm thinking about like the first week it's released, right? That's where you're going to get the most views, the most traction. Now I put out shorts a little bit hazmat-y, if you will.
Right. I like that because I saw one of me the other day.
Yeah. So like you got a string coming up that are going to come out every day now. For a little bit.
Let me ask you, Hunter, because I do it, and I'll see if you share. I schedule a lot, because I work full time and have other things with the business too, with that apparel side of it that I can't. So a lot of times I will take a full 3 hours and schedule for the next 2 weeks. So a lot of times those clips that you see, I did that like a week and a half ago and scheduled it out. So because you can do that. A lot of these platforms with Facebook, Instagram, a lot of that you can schedule out, even some stuff with like you said with the shorts. And the good thing that I like with the shorts is that, like you said, you can put that specific hyperlink for that episode. So when somebody's scrolling, which I find you get more off of your stories a lot of times analytically than your actual feed.
Oh yeah.
So having that hyperlink directly in the link. So when I had that your podcast, I had you on recently,
Mhm.
Hunter. Every time I dropped a clip, even the anime clip that I did with you was really popular. A lot of people, I got a lot of clicks to the episode
Mhm.
because of that anime clip. You know what I mean? So, and I found that was even useful too. That from with Riverside, that you can, the anime feature is cool. I had a guest on the other day that he was just like, "Man, I'm sorry you started doing the cartoon stuff because I didn't get to have one." I'm like, "Well, and I guess you got to come back on then." You know what I mean? So it generates that amount of interest
Yeah.
with people. So it's a great. Just you got to keep it different. Got to keep it fresh.
Well,
Not the
and
same
that's
old.
what's great about Riverside, right? Like
Mhm.
you can make those anime clips, but they I think I got one of Norse baby faced. You know,
I don't
so
think I
it's me and
posted it
Norse
though. I think
talking.
you just sent it to me though, right?
Yeah, I think I just sent it to you. It might
I
be
loved it.
on. It might be on the YouTube. YouTube gets
No,
everything, right? It
I didn't
just
know
gets a
this.
smattering. Everything else is the Instagram and Facebook are way more curated than the YouTube for sure. Like I'm throwing shit at the wall, but like my short views, and I don't care sharing this with you guys, are like 40,000 views for shorts for the little time period, which I think is good. Maybe
Wow.
it's shit, I don't know. Um,
Sounds good.
but then those help build my longer form content, the full interview, right? So that's how I view those. So if one's a dud and gets 0 views, so what? I got 10 other that I'm going to throw out there. And while you're mindlessly scrolling at on the
It's
shitter,
gonna slap
you
you in the
know,
face.
it's going to slap you in the face.
In
So,
chat,
I,
like these are gold nuggets. Remember, Venmo's down at the bottom.
Just out of curiosity here, because have either of you ever used anything other than Riverside or what was the first one? On the
Anchor.
phone?
Anchor.
Anchor. The
Riverside
Anchor's
or
kind of
Anchor. Have either
antiquated
of y'all
though,
used
right?
either of those?
Anchor's in New Riverside. No, I have. I think I tried. I don't know what it was once. It was just so not user friendly. I said, "Nah, fuck that," and I went right. I went right back. So I think those two platforms have definitely just hands down the easiest, user friendly ones,
Right.
and they're not and it's not gonna break the bank either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, so I haven't. I got recommended another one by a really smart guy that does some stuff in Texas.
Do you remember what it
Um,
was by any chance?
I can look it up and send it to you. I
I
can't.
was just curious if anyone's used OBS, because that was gonna be my next question. Was I know you use Riverside because it's easy. It's easy to do everything under this all-encompassing Riverside. Do you think that you would do it differently if you had a team doing editing for you and a team doing clips for you? Like, do you think that Riverside caps the possibilities of the podcast for you?
I don't think it caps the possibilities because it does so much,
Can
right?
you live stream
It,
on
you can live stream
Okay.
on it. I think you have to be on one of the paid things, right? Which
Okay.
full I pay
Typical.
for my
That's
Riverside account.
right.
Is it a monthly subscription, yearly subscription, or what? Or is
It's
it
a
like a one-time
You
fee?
no, you can choose monthly or yearly.
yeah,
Okay.
It gives you the option.
yeah. So I did
See-
monthly and just forgot about it.
And-
Let it rip.
Yeah.
Okay. So so I was gonna get, since we're talking about fees and stuff. Are you already generating anything from YouTube, Hunter?
No. Look, the
YouTube money's washed
It-
now. You need $1
I'm
million
just
dollars
asking.
for.
Well,
You need $1 million
it's not
for
even-
$1,000.
All of them
Yeah.
are washed, really. They really are.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not generating any money from any of my what I call outlets, right? So not Spotify, not YouTube, not Instagram, definitely not Facebook. And honestly, I don't think paintball's big enough because you need like 1 million plus views, right? I would be very surprised if PTG, which I think we can all agree is probably the biggest podcast, is generating anything from their distributors.
I think oddly enough, I think Facebook's the hardest to get traction on, but Facebook is the lowest barrier to entry for monetization compared to YouTube. Like YouTube, you've got to get so many views. Facebook's a little bit more. They pay out earlier than anyone, but
yeah, they do.
They're not as viral as YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah. And like my Facebook is Facebook's great for certain things, right? But like the Instagram blew up way bigger than the Facebook has. Like the Facebook is behind everything else for me. But I also haven't put like my focus on Facebook and like trying to make it for like doing posts just for Facebook. Like my episode post, I do a special one for Facebook, and then I do a special one for Instagram, and then everything else.
The tags don't cross over.
The tags don't always cross over, but everything else is put on Instagram and then copied over to Facebook. And that's just how it's been for me. Now, Gavin, when you schedule your stuff out, do you schedule it out as different things in the meta thing, or
I schedule it that it works for Facebook and Instagram, and like you said, the monetization for Facebook is ridiculous. I remember I got all excited one time because I hit 1 million views or something. I'm like, I thought the payout was gonna be crazy, and when I saw, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" But
$1.95.
Like Jesus, but what happens when I do schedule and releases on dually on Facebook and Instagram, then I'll also schedule for TikTok. I also utilize TikTok as well because TikTok's still in my top 5 funnel platforms for the podcast. Funny enough, because I do clips on TikTok too as well. And on TikTok, that's when I start using. I'm really careful with my hashtags to get people to funnel them into the page. So that's where I find that clips are really huge for me. YouTube, I'm still kind of like trying to figure out. I've never really been good with YouTube. I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, but overall for both the business and the podcast. But TikTok's been really huge. But Facebook and Instagram are like literally right there for me as funnels. Like bringing people in and using the right hashtags was really been critical for me with that.
So it's the
It's
same
just crazy.
It's the same company, so they have the same algorithm design.
Yeah.
Like Facebook and Instagram, they'll do the same.
It's just
thing.
crazy how you two both do this on your own, and I'm not saying us three can't do it, but I feel like I don't. You know what? I'll speak for myself. I won't do what JP says I normally do. I feel overwhelmed at times, and I'm not even doing the shit that JP's doing. Like it just feels like a lot on the plate.
Is I'm doing way more, and I couldn't have less stress. I know that I'm going to get on here. We're all going to be in a Discord call and we're going to record. The only stressful part is not knowing if one of these two are going to crash out and clam up. Like that's the only. That's the only.
Why do I feel overwhelmed then?
Because you
shit.
You immediately go to what could go wrong. I think that's your fire department training. That's your EMS training.
I think JP's like our calm down as far as podcast goes. JP's the calm down. You're the overthinker. Now JP's also. I was gonna say, and then I'm the fucking. I'm out. So
let me ask you guys, how do you guys?
Thank you.
How you guys gonna decide on guests? How you guys gonna? What type of guests are you guys looking for on the show?
So
how you guys gonna decide on guests?
Not to cut them off, but they've given a couple of suggestions. I just think for the little while that it's probably gonna end up trumping them. Right? They see very small side of paintball, and like who they've been suggesting so far just don't seem like the right move early on, and some of them not at all. Or like I'll know for a fact that they were already about to hit on your show, and I don't want to be right after y'all with the same guests, right? And it's like
because I want to have Damo. Like in my personal opinion, like we want to cover divisional paintball. We love talking about drama, being unfiltered. I think Damo fits that description perfectly as far as divisional paintball goes half the time.
And I'll give some of my sauce to y'all.
Here's the thing. He brings up a good point. Because I've had because what I do is I have a list of up to 2 months of potential people that I want on the show, and I'll message them, da 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 da, and I'll have them scheduled sometimes weeks ahead of time. But then at the same time, if I see that Hunter just had him on the show, I'm like, all right, let me fall back and not have it right on, so I'm not putting not like I'm not saying I don't want to like follow right back on him. Let me space that shit out. But also at the same time, to freak you back on what Corey said, if just saw Hunter or you guys have a fire guest on player from B and his story is still hot, why the fuck am I gonna wait 2-3 weeks when he's not hot anymore?
That's true. But so like what I did on that is like I was like, Corey, what's your rationale? Then he said it, and I was like, Corey, you don't know the scene. I wanted James. James is Dom, but with a bigger audience. James the Beautiful from Tropic now on Enemy. He is the epitome of like they're compared, and James just has a bigger shelf life in my opinion. If you're talking like longevity, right? I feel like that show's going to carry longer and it's going to get more views right away. And then he said, well, who's that? And I'm like, the only reason why I should take that back because Dom's my boy. That's not the only reason. But the reason why Dom became more popular in like, topics or reels or whatever is because he kept fighting with those boys off Tropic because people do follow James and stuff. So Corey didn't understand that. He didn't see that. He just saw Dom and him being controversial. And I'm like, no, James is where it's at because he's the same kind of behavior. And he's just got a bigger base. So
I know you said you schedule your people out like 2 months in advance. How do you guys go about like picking who you want on the show, or like, yo, I got to get this person on here? And how do you navigate your personal life and the podcast with scheduling people and everything?
I have a set schedule. I work in manufacturing, and so I work 12-hour shifts overnight. I know what I'm working up to for the whole year.
How many days a week? So that relates to me because I work at night 12 hours.
I'll do like 3 12s in a row, and then I'll be off for 2.
Okay.
And then flip flop like that. So I'll schedule around my that day, those days off that I know I already have, and I'll reach out. Like I said, I look for a lot of ICPL players just because that's the niche that I really want to promote right now. Also, I'll go through a list of like really good like players that are up and coming or legends in ICPL. And I'll branch off and I'll be like, okay, still who's up and coming? You know what I mean? So I'll pay attention to my feed. Okay, oh shit, this guy from that whatever team seemed to do really well. All right, let me reach out to him, and because you can't be shy in this shit. They're either gonna say yes, they're gonna say yes or no.
That's my motto, bro.
You know what I mean? So a lot of times, I'll be honest. Sometimes I reach out to people and they ghost me, and I'm like, all right, well, fuck you then. Next, you know what I mean? and then there'll be some people that be like, oh, you know what? Hey, yeah, cool, thanks, yeah, and we jump on, and then some people like, hey, hit me back in a couple weeks because I'm busy. So then I'll go back to my list. I'm like, all right, I gotta hit back Norris in 2 weeks because he's got blah blah blah, and then I'll follow up. So you gotta have that type of structure. For me personally, otherwise I will fucking lose my mind. You know what I mean? And then I work around that calendar and click. And sometimes, like I said, I'll move people up and I'll move people down based on who's hot, who's not, or if they were just on somebody else's show.
All right, P. Diddy. Hunter?
A lot of it is just cold calling, essentially. Hitting up people through the DMs, slide in your DM, ask you what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm good at sliding in them DMs.
Yeah. So,
I've seen the evidence.
Hey, it still work. It still work. It still work. They still want it.
Like Gavin said, like I keep a calendar. Like this one's not up to date. You aren't gonna see it. But like I try and schedule out a couple weeks. And just because the nature of paintball, like something can shift or move, or maybe like I went after 3 people because like I didn't have enough lined up for the next week, and now all of a sudden I got extra, right? But I want to be mindful of not backstoring people too much. That's something I learned like early on. I felt like I had stored an episode too long, and
like mine waited like 3 weeks. My first one was like
your first one, it like waited too long. But I had gone through like a little frantic and messaged all these people, and then all of them said yes.
Oh shit!
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean
it's
it's good, right?
In that scenario, do you just go through and record all of those and just hold it?
Yeah,
Or do you tell
a lot of them. No, I'll go ahead and record, but I'm very honest with people. Like, hey, this is the timeline. Like,
Yeah.
so if you got
Yeah.
something hot that you want to drop next week,
Take your ass somewhere else.
well, I'll shift you around if I can, but like, I'm not going to make someone a 4-week-old episode before it drops. You know,
Yeah.
and it just it is how it is sometimes. With
it just works for you because I feel like sometimes it plays out almost like you absolutely planned it meticulously because like you would like the day we filmed Tinker was on there and I dropped a topic he brought up and it was almost like we linked and he's like, yeah guys, when you see this go back one episode and it's talked about. Or like when you had Dawn after you had me about the win and it's just after we talked about the other thing before I went to Dawn, then Dawn after.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and Don's one of the ones that, and it's honest in that episode, like I had tried to get him months ago and we had a thing set up and he couldn't show up to it because he had a thing with his kid. Totally understandable, right? And then
busy dude, for sure.
He is a busy dude.
There wasn't much Norris talk in that episode.
He mentions Norris a little bit.
There's 20 seconds left, and he said, "Oh, we brought Norris on as we brought Norris on as a coach," and that was it.
I will say all of the I was introduced to your podcast because Norris went on it, so I watched that one, and I've sort of when I pick the episode because like I said, my Spotify will literally it'll be Joe Rogan. The Joe Rogan thing ends while I'm driving. I can't touch my phone. So it jumps to yours, and then it'll play someone, and I'm like, I have no idea who this guy is. I've never really cared about old school paintball, just because it's not like paintball's not like a thing to me. Like I enjoy playing it, but it's not like a lifestyle for me. So I don't care about old school stuff. So it's like we're talking about 1993 paintball. I'm like, I have no idea who this guy is. I don't know anything about old paintball. I listen to it. But
and then keep in mind, so you're not totally offended. Like, I mean, you're probably not. But like JP and Corey, I've had them around the pro scene for probably like 3-4 years straight, and I could literally name an active all-star pro, and they would still look at me like, "Who the fuck is that?" And I'm like,
"Who's that?"
If you guys,
you got teammates in that too.
If you guys have watched,
line them up.
If you guys have watched either of the first 2 episodes of this, you know how specifically I feel about professional paintball. I'm not going to dive into that every episode. I don't care about pro paintball. Shit's whack. Shit's boring. Shit's gay. I don't care about pro paintball. I like divisional paintball's fun. But what I was getting to is like watching yours, I get to someone where I think Norris could be mentioned. Anyone that I've played with could be mentioned, and I'm looking for those like ties to things that I can connect with. Mm-hmm. And with you being in the Carolinas, it's happened a ton. It's happened.
Because we grew up playing against the Lennon boys, right? And Luke, one of our other buddies, Luke is dead now, but like he was a huge fan of the Lennons, and that's how I met the Lennons through Luke.
I've run into the Lennons at Lowe's Food buying brisket. Like I've seen them trade,
which is weird because I thought they lived in like Taper City or something.
They were down for, I think it was that scrimmage at Myrtle Beach whenever I ran into him at the store. But like Trey Beatty, I've played with Trey Beatty a bunch. Trey's one of my favorite people to play paintball with. It's always a good time. Last time we played, Norris got kicked out of the field. Me and some other kid basically got into a fight on the field. Corey left. I'm sitting there with my gun and a box of loose paint like, hey, does anyone like need a filler? No, but you just left before you could get in trouble.
I will say this, Trey is an interesting, like, I like how Hunter, like, stays over here, because Trey's an interesting story. Like, when I met Trey in 2014, he was a pudgy little kid. Like, now that motherfucker's tall, he's lanky, he's fit, and that motherfucker can shoot. Yep. That motherfucker can shoot. So, Trey, shout out to you.
Shout out, Trey.
And he's a barber, which is cool. I think he can, like he puts clips up and he looks like he can do some dope fades. Isn't he a barber like Alex?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind a haircut, but like he told me where it's at, and I'm like, shit, I ain't driving that far.
You ain't driving to $10.
Okay. I'll
Trey's
pay you extra to come do it here, though.
Tell him.
I'll pay you extra to show up.
Trey, you could come through.
I'll
We
let
could
your
play a
boy.
little paintball. You could give Norris a cut at the field.
Nah, not at the field. Too dusty
Fuck
out
it, at the field. You'll be all
there.
right.
I won't do that. Where were you? What's your next question, Corey? No.
Corey's asked 14 questions in a row. Who is and once again, feel free to not answer. But I want to dig a little bit. Who is your least favorite guest that you've ever had? It could be.
I wanted this one.
It could be.
I got $100 if you answer it truthfully, honey.
It could be something as simple as you just don't like that person now, or they were just. Some people can be impossible to get an answer out of. Like you're like, hey, so
Or it could just be too dry. You ever been that girl? It's just dry.
Never been there.
Never.
I've heard your stories. Don't make me out you on this fucking podcast because you never got.
Gavin, I'll go now.
Gavin,
you want
Corey,
to talk to think about it?
Save Corey or Norris.
Yeah, because I'm about to roast this motherfucker. I'm about to roast him.
Let's go.
All right, so the one I felt was the Trinbang guy. He asked to come on the episode. I knew nothing about him, right?
Oh, which dude was it? I didn't even see this episode.
Dougie Ross or whatever.
Dougie was on. Tell me it was after our episode. Tell me it was after our episode.
No, it was before. So he asked early on, and I super flat like someone asked to come on, right? And
we're getting out.
Come to. Oh yeah, we're getting feedback again.
Gavin.
Not me. I'm not. I didn't do shit.
Oh, it says it's green from you. I don't know. Yeah, it is. Is your headset near the mic?
My thing's off. I turned the whole thing off.
Oh, so the speakers is picking up. Okay, gotcha. Anyway.
But
is that better?
Yeah. So
we still iron out shit.
The interview was a little awkward. It was a little right. And I've had some awkward interviews. People say yes that aren't really comfortable talking, which is fine. But then I came out to figure out he's kind of associated with a lot of scammers, might have scammed some people before, and I felt like I just gave this dude a platform to, that I normally would not want to give a platform to.
Okay. Nah, that's what I want to do. I probably do some shit like that. Like I just feel like it's just no.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. Shout out. Yeah, now you done started 5 more fucking rumors that are lies. No.
Oh God.
I probably would have more and so. I don't know much about him. I know a lot of people have a lot of either love him or they hate him. And supposedly he spent time in prison. So I feel like everyone that's kind of got some type of hype in the New Jersey area. So Ryan Greenspan caught some slack for some shit he said, but in his defense, a lot of motherfuckers that are really prevalent in paintball up in the New Jersey area have a big history in the criminal organization, right? Like they've been in prison, they've had something going on, and they've made success stories out of it, which I think is dope. Some of them just can't seem to let that culture go, but I think that's pretty cool. To go to prison and come out and become a millionaire, become your own business owner, or run a paintball team, do all that stuff, and he's just focused on defending himself in the wrong way. Talk about your success, and then you'll start relating to everybody. And there you go, Dougie. I helped you out. Pay me.
Venmo.
Down below.
All right, Gavin. So give us yours and tell us why it's Norris.
No. I'm in recent memory. Probably I had a scenario generals episode on, and then the one guy was just a little bit way too trashed, and it just every question just went way left to the point where even the promoter was texting me on the side bro, I'm so sorry, and it was a trade. I think that was the quickest wrap up I've had in recent memory where I was like, oh yeah, so we're done here, okay, boom, we're out. So
did you post it? did you post it?
Well, I had to. I had to because I promised the promoter that to help promote the event. And it did get a few views, and hopefully it helped out. But I was like, oh, that was painful. And then other than that, there was a guy that was associated with the team that I'm on now. Came on, and it just left a bad taste in my mouth because he's no longer with the team. So he's been a little sour. He's been a little sour since. So I'm just like, motherfucker.
And tell him to come here then, because we love sour grapes here. We love sour grapes here.
Sour grapes. No, but here's the thing, going back to the whole cabal culture that we talked about earlier in paintball, and I mean, I think.
Oh, and for people who don't understand what you're saying, what do you mean by cabal culture? Can you explain what that means?
Paintball is very cliquey. You know what I mean? I hang with this group, and we like on this field, and we don't associate with those guys, and we're just gonna be asshole to those guys, or we're only gonna fuck with company A, we're not gonna fuck with company B, or we're only gonna fuck with these. And I mean, just very cliquey, like that, and I find it sometimes borders. That doesn't border. It goes over the border on being a little bitch sometimes about it. You know what I mean?
Okay,
yeah. Why you rocking Norris's gear? What the fuck is up with that? And I'm like, why do you got a fucking problem from rocking Norris's gear, motherfucker? Like, the fuck you got? Like, the fuck? You know what I mean?
You ain't doing nothing right if they don't hate you.
That is true. That is true. But it just that's what I mean when I say the cabal. Like, there's a sticky, very cliquey, and sometimes a little bitchiness. You know what I mean? But like you said, if you ain't got haters, you ain't doing it right. You know what I mean? So.
Fair.
All right, so JP,
I've got one more that I want to get out here.
did you like that answer? Was that raw enough for you?
No, that's perfectly raw enough.
But you was hoping he would say me, huh?
No,
Okay,
never once. And honestly, the favorite guest was also another question that I had, but I'm not trying to hear them say you. I'm not trying to have this Nora's gas up.
If they don't gas me up, we will unplug them. It won't be no Wi-Fi issue this time.
So another one that I want to know about that I don't have written down, but have just thought about. Did you guys, whenever the Dan Bilzerian swastika gun thing come out, did you guys get any quick guess and sort of punch that immediate, or was it just a thing that happened and y'all didn't have an episode dedicated to that hot topic, if that makes sense?
It's funny you asked that because I touched on it twice when it happened, and it right
with
around
who?
the time with actually the players from Upstate Avalanche, which played against Dan's team. And one of my guys that was on the podcast, Duke, he was the one he bunkered Dan twice. I think it.
But he still lost.
They still lost, but it was a good fight. But to get to your point, we did touch on the topic a little bit, and I think I would have been remiss, and I'm not to touch on the topic. And I mean, because
it's a hot thing. You have to.
You have to. You know what I mean? There's there's a couple of people I asked about it. Some people were raw about it. Some people skirted around it. But I kept, but yeah, you have to. You have to. And I was fortunate that one of the teams that he did play against was on right during that time.
They happened to
so
be
that
in that world at the time.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that was cool. And even after that, I kept reposting clips on that episode to funnel people into it. I mean, because, just kind of, you gotta run that shit.
Just FYI, we need visuals for when I turn to Hunter and I'm gazing at him so that the viewers can see I'm waiting for the white man answer.
And Norris,
Sorry,
guys,
gotta go.
Norris, I don't know if it helps you at all, knowing where he's at in relation to
Gavin's
you.
up here to me and Hunter's up here to me.
It.
And I was like,
no.
What's up?
You couldn't be more opposite. You got a 50% chance and it's in the wrong spot. So
Bro,
just so you know, you got to look up there for. Yeah.
This is so Brady Bunch right now. This is, and I'm showing my age here by saying Brady Bunch, but this is really Brady Bunch.
It's right now. So I use OBS to record, so everything that I have is pulling a screen capture from Discord. So I've got each individual camera put on this screen.
Hey, you're giving him too much time to think of a bullshit answer. Hunter, did you even talk about it on your podcast?
I talked about with 2 people. You.
Don't do that. You didn't have to out me there. You didn't have to out me there. We didn't talk about it.
And then it's out on public now. And then the one that is going to drop. So when you guys drop this, it will have been out a week.
That's our sound.
So, yeah. Where's the sound bar at?
We weren't allowed those.
I know.
The one a week ago, we talked about it, and that is with Will Ball from Soup. So,
what is his name? Is it Scotty? His name's Scotty?
Yeah, Scotty. And that interview came about because of Eargate.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Filthy.
Yeah.
Yo, so let's talk about that. How am I not mentioned? And I'm coaching the team that's does the Eargate scandal. Like, what the fuck? Alex Ryan, somebody? Nothing? No credit?
But outside of that, so right after that happened, I had a very interesting guy on, Chavez, okay, who he runs Trigger Time Paintball. What a lot of people probably don't know about him is and he's got an interesting past, but he was, one of the things he's done in his past lives was he formed a motorcycle club that is against discrimination and shit. And one of the things they do is they'll go to like the KKK setting up in your town. That club will show up and just rev their fucking bikes and drown them out.
Let's go, dog. Shout out to you. I don't care what your past is. You're a hero in my book.
So, literally, like the day all that shit happened, like it really popped off with what's her name from the lawyer place going to town. I already had him scheduled just serendipitously, and me and him talked about it a lot off air. And I said, do we want to address this? And it came to, I don't want to give that dude a platform. And like, honestly, I didn't feel like me as a white dude whose ancestry comes from fucking Scotland and Ireland, like, don't know if I have to, like, we talked about it, and I talked about from historical perspective, right? Norris, on yours?
Yeah, I remember. Yep.
But I didn't feel like maybe I'm not the right voice to have this conversation, But I didn't want anywhere part of any of that. I thought, and I said this on the one we did together, I thought Paintball Nerd did a good job with his interviews. I think Marcelo fucked up. Like, I think you fucked up in the way you came out of that situation. I think it's real easy to say, I don't agree with his views. Instead, you came out and you shot at the paintball community. And there's a bunch of dudes that love you in that community. I could take them or leave them, to be honest with you.
The easiest softball of all time. Whiffs
yeah,
on it.
like
Whiffs on it.
Yeah,
the easiest softball ever.
But you decided to.
Here's the thing, though. He chose the paper over everything else. That's what it boiled down to.
Oh, hey, okay, let's talk about that, because that's what I tried to mention on him. According to the average paintball player, they think he walked away from money. And I'm like, ain't nobody who fucking plays paintball as their only fucking job to take care of their family walk away from $150,000 in 1 year to nothing. So he's getting paid by somebody, and I'm just, hey, you're backing a half a billionaire for a reason, right?
I think some maybe it's us. Maybe we're the lucky ones that we weren't doing this whenever that came out. Because I have no idea what would have been said if we were.
Yeah, because you were highly pissed. That's the friend I was talking about, Hunter. And I just felt like it was the time I had to do something. Because, like, here's the thing. As the black community, we talk about all the time, like, silence is acceptance, right? And we wanted allies because we felt like we were always fighting alone. if the one time that I can finally be a ally to somebody, I shut my mouth, that's the biggest hypocrite I've ever seen. So all I said, and without like getting like controversial, or, like wanting to be aggressive, like JP wanted to do, I said, hey, like I just don't agree with the man. Like you can't just say it's just history or brush it off or act like whatever. People died in that. Like slavery, people were killed in slavery days, but that wasn't the basis of slavery. And slavery's bad, completely bad. But we were enslaved to work. That history is literally murdering people. Like,
well, it's
what?
So the thing is that's also slavery. Like,
well, true, but what I'm saying is like to say it's not that big of a deal.
No,
when you're like murdering kids, children, men, like fuck you, bro. That whoa.
It's ridiculous, and the way that I looked at it was, if anyone showed anything similar to a Klan hood, they'd have been shunned immediately. No question, no arguments. No, hey, well, like let's think about it a little bit. And
I think half the paintball community would have laughed. I don't think we'd have banned anybody for sure.
I think some of the fringe people who thrive off of that probably would have, but there would have been no normal people defending it.
What were you gonna say, Gavin?
Isn't that surprised me? Because I had a couple conversations with a couple different people about it, and this was even in the scenario world. They had those symbols up for a long time on some of these big events, like at the D-Day events, and it was only of late that it was like I'm like, really? I'm like, I even talked to a brother, Norris, and he said, yep, he's seen one there, and people are about to come, like there's about to be hands were about to be thrown or whatever, until they finally said, no, we're not gonna do it. So I'm like, oh. I can't understand the mentality where you think that would be okay. And I wasn't even born in this country. I'm a Jamaican. I would know that. You lost your damn mind if you think that shit's cool. You lost the whole world with that shit.
This is going to be really weird for y'all to hear me say. I don't know that it was the symbols that were a problem for me. Like, I don't even care about that. So have we not done scenario games where you acted like one side versus the other, you were killing? But I don't care about the symbols. It's what he said and how he was saying. He revered Hitler as almost like a Gandhi or a philosopher or a mentor. Like, wait a minute, bitch. If you revering somebody as a mentor who fucking murdered kids, and I didn't realize why this bothered me until now. I've spent my entire professional career in one capacity or another, because it's always been a medical field, saving these, not same, but like kids and women and men, and like it's sacred when you're working on a kid who's injured or hurt or dying. You try harder, you do CPR for longer, you try more aggressive drugs, you don't give up. I've worked on a kid for 4 hours before calling it before. Like, you don't tell me like he was getting rid of people who were bad. How is a kid ain't bad? He can be taught anything. Like, I don't want to hear all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. You want him as a mentor, you do need to be blocked.
Facts.
Yeah. I think it was, I mean, it wasn't, it's not just the imagery, right? Because we have, I mean, at Adventure Beach,
we've been flying.
We did the invasion of Japan, and there's always been this, like Germany versus this, D-Day, Normandy. It's always been that, but it's when, I don't know how much y'all have followed Dan Bilzerian, but for the first 5 years of his career, he was poker player, he was military base guy who was paying to get into movies, like he paid to be in Lone Survivor, I think it was Lone Survivor. He paid to be in that movie, like that's what he did. The last 5 years, it's literally only been anti-Semitism the entire time. Like, that's the only thing that he's popped up for. So when that matches with, hey, by the way, I've got a swastika gun, it's like, it's not just a symbol at that point. Like, it's obviously something I think in his head he thought was funny to have, more so than it was, hey, I got this gun and these jerseys designed for this invasion of Normandy.
So quick question, and like I said, we don't want to give him too much of a platform, but How do you feel about the league's
huge platform.
response?
Dan's got a huge
How do I feel about what?
platform already.
Hold on.
The league,
Listen, what do you say?
the league. How do you feel
League's
about the
response.
league's response?
I loved it. I think Tom Cole took a number one quick, like respectively quick. Like it wasn't immediate. It was obviously thought out, but it was, hey, this isn't going to be allowed at the field, and who's going to determine if this thing is hateful? Hey, sorry guys, it's me, and so it was a super clear. This isn't going to be tolerated, but like people who thought it was too soft, what do you want them to do? To kick the biggest name in the league out? It doesn't make sense business-wise. And now you're punishing all the people on his team. You're punishing fans. So I think his response was as good. He got handed a shit sandwich, and he threw some parsley on top of it and made it look as good as it possibly could, I think.
Fair enough. All right, you look like you were itching to say something.
No, I was just thinking. I don't have anything to say. I don't want. You're right. I don't want to even talk about that dude much more.
I
I was thinking about how I can transgress to Hunter or fucking Meat over there is being quiet because.
But just one more thing for me. I've got two people / companies that I want to give props to. J-Rab handled that better than anyone. J-Rab so quick jumped on it. He was one of the first people. But the main one is Seattle Uprising. Seattle Uprising was so fast to be. I think they may have been the first people to say something about it. I think they were the first, and I know they were the first to reach out to Tom Cole.
Oh.
Yeah, they
I didn't know
definitely were.
Yep. And the sponsor there, Sandana with the Kill All Nazis shirt.
And let's be clear, Mark definitely supports a good cause, but Mark's just a good businessman. Anytime he sees some drama, he capitalizes. He capitalizes on that
Mark's the
motherfucker.
best.
And then somebody try to like throw his brand in. He's like, "Nah, we the most American made shit ever. Like, get out of here."
Love that.
So Hunter, well, actually, JP, I thought you had another part of that question, right? Is it that started off to like
shouting out J-Rab in Seattle for like a quick response?
Right. Corey, your little sheet. You answer.
Oh, no, go ahead.
You get all yours. No,
Yeah.
no, I'm trying to just direct.
No, I think I've hit most of mine because I think we kind of all took a little bit off the sheet, so I'm good right now.
Yeah, Corey sent his questions in, and I'm looking through here because I like to write stuff down. I was looking through here. I was like, "Fuck, got that one, got that one, got that one, got that one," and it was like, "Oh, okay, cool. There's a different one." And like it was already linked up without even talking to each other, like the preset questions that we had.
So before I get into this next topic, like where are we at on time? Because I just like to keep mental notes.
We're about an hour and a half. Yep.
We're at hour and a half. So my biggest problem with this, Hunter and Gavin, is I'm already stressed out enough. Paintball was supposed to be a stress reliever. Now I need therapy for paintball. I've lost several actual relationships. I've ruined a marriage over it. My oldest 3 kids, I don't have a great relationship because of it. It's done a lot of damage because I've not known, I guess we do have addictive personalities like you talk about, Don. And I got addicted to this, hiding from other things, and I've ruined shit in my personal life. So how do y'all manage, 1, playing paintball, 2, doing podcasts, 3, working actual jobs to support your family and still being the family units y'all have? Or are you succeeding? Are you failing too secretly?
Thankfully, I have a great support system. I'm not gonna lie. My wife has been very supportive of everything that was. She was actually a co-host on the podcast when we first started. Got to give her a shout out, Maxine. So, been very helpful and very supportive with everything with the business. Because as you know, the podcast works hand in hand with the apparel business as well. And I also play national events with Team Lockout. So that's all that's got to be thrown into the mix. So I gotta say this honestly, you gotta love it, Norris. You really gotta love it. It's not something you're gonna get rich out of. I don't know anybody that's ever got rich out of anything in paintball. That's very few and far between. You gotta love it, and if you do love it, you'll find out what works for you and make it happen. That's the best advice I can give you. I have
I'm
a great
10 years
support
in
system.
and I ain't found it out yet.
And I have a great support system, and my wife is very helpful with it. My teammates are very helpful too, with like helping to share stuff and getting the word out there too as well. So there's a lot of people like really, um, even my subscribers, like they'll give me feedback. I've taken a lot of feedback from my subscribers over the years, like, hey Gavin, I love when you do this, but also you got to be open to the negative too as well. Like, hey, bruh, that was horrible. What the fuck were you thinking? Or hey, you got to work on this. So you got to be able to take the good with the bad and just keep doing it. And I think that's the growth that I've shown over the last 6 years. That now I know my identity. I know what I want to do. I know the product that I have. I know the fan base that I have and what they want. And I think I'm just gonna try and grow that niche and just try to tell great paintball stories and keep it cool. I do a different. We all have our own flair. Hunter has his own flair with how he does his show. You guys have your own flair. PTG has their own flair. Paul that does the OG with the Did It Hurt podcast has his own flair. Everybody has their own flair. So I think there's enough food that we all can eat. I just think we all should just keep telling paintball stories, keep telling those division stories. Like you said earlier, know about the pros. Everybody knows about the pros. Now we want to hear about Joe Schmo that's been grinding from how long, and now he walking through the airport with that medal on his neck, and he feeling nice because people asking him, hey, where'd you get that medal? You know what I mean? And he wants to talk about that shit. You know what I mean? That's the shit we want to talk about. So, yeah, I want to keep doing that shit. I always say I want to be a mixture of FUBU and the Breakfast Club a little bit of paintball. You know what I mean?
So, if you're going to go, I want to be a mixture between the Shades Room and like Noriega's fucking podcast, bro. Like where he's at a table and he's talking about the raw shit that you didn't know behind the scenes, that just how that track even got done because of the issues.
I watched his. I watched his a lot when I first. I like that. That's where I got kind of like just to keep it raw. I tell people, bring a drink. That's one thing I think I told you both when I was booking you both.
I took that.
Bring a drink. You know what I mean? If you want to light a blunt and smoke, you can smoke on my podcast. I just want to keep it raw and keep it real, and just talk shit like if we're at the field after we just shot the shit out of each other. That's how I want to do it. You can have water too.
Corey with his water down here.
Hunter.
Murky water.
Yeah. So I've been in it since like 1999 as a player, right? Recreational player. Started playing tournaments in 2001. There were a lot of breaks in between. Some like I chose to do, some like I had to do for work, right? And part of this, doing this thing was I knew I wasn't going to have a team going into this year, right? I knew I wasn't going to commit to a team. And I wanted to stay plugged into the community. So this is how I did it. And what I found was, I've met way more people doing this than I had in the last 25 years playing paintball, which is kind of ironic. But, me and my wife, she's supportive. She knows like paintball is something I need to do. And yeah, sometimes I got to pick family over paintball. Just how it is, right? Corey, you and I were talking about birthdays were lining up for certain things.
Nobody's trying to tell me otherwise, but you're right.
Yeah, keep doing you. You're definitely doing better than me.
So, it's just putting that into perspective. When Relapse fell apart, right? We didn't do it intentionally, but I couldn't be at an event and the boys didn't have a good showing, and I'm not saying that's because I wasn't there. And then other one was having a kid, two of them were having kids. We had the Robinsons on the team, and they had gone recruited to Filthy right after that. So that's how that team kind of fell apart. And I want to talk with the boys more, and some of those guys just ghost it. It happens. It's paintball, right? You move away, you get a different job. And getting on here is talking to the boys. Corey probably seen each other around at events, but we've never talked. So,
y'all played together last December.
You know, we got to play. No,
yes,
he wasn't on that squad.
Yes, he was. Remember, we had to tell him no, he couldn't leave early. Yes, we told him he couldn't leave early.
Damn,
yeah.
I don't even remember that.
So let me tell you how y'all hit.
That's because it was a December event. We all know what happens there.
Promise we weren't making it out of prelims. I didn't have to show up the next day. So
it's weird when you bring up like you had the teams or whatever. I think and maybe that's why I inadvertently let some relationships fall to the side, because I was always we've told everybody this, never really accepted, and I was always looking for an identity. And like, how you said you had a team, and I've never had that true identity. And then when like I would always build something and fall apart, you feel like you're still searching for yourself or you're missing a piece. Mm-hmm. And so I can when you talked about how Relapse fell apart, like I felt that, because I was like, shit, wonder did he feel a little lost? You're like, I didn't commit to a team this season. Like this whole year hasn't felt right for me, because I went into this year knowing I might not ever step on the field again, because like people want me more for coaching or player coaching. And just because I'm a player coach, it helps me feel better coaching, but that doesn't mean I'm going to put myself on the field. If it's about them first, let's make it about them. And I just like how it looks on my spreadsheet if I was a player coach as opposed to just a coach. But
let's talk about that for a little bit, though, because when I came back in and we formed Relapse after playing in the URPL, like that was one of my things. I did not, and I told Andy and Kevin this. I was like, I do not want to be in charge of this thing. I want to be a player, a coach. I just want to focus on me as a player, right? Because I knew that's what was going to make me happy. Now, those motherfuckers dragged me kicking and screaming into being like a little behind-the-scenes co-captain, which, fuck you, Andy. You know what you did. You know what you did recently.
Flip that, Corey. Fuck you, Andy.
Whoa, let's talk about what he do. What did he do recently?
Oh, no, he made me in charge of getting that 10-man spot.
Oh, that's
and he
dirty.
knows I hate that shit. He knows I hate that shit.
That's dirty.
But yeah, love you, Andy. But
and he hates it for people like me, aka because I ain't paid yet for the 10-man spot or the retro spot.
Yeah, but cash. I know you're good for it. I know you're gonna be there with cash. So, but it's like that was a choice I had to make, and that was after years of running different versions of Absolute Carnage, right? Like, there's been so many dudes that came through that camp, and I would build dudes up, and I'd be like, finally, I get to go and play fucking D4 again, which is what I wanted to fucking do, and then they all fucking leave. And I'm stuck rebuilding a fucking D6 squad and a D5 squad just so I can fucking play. So like maybe you just need to be a player, man, and have fun.
Trust
with
me,
it.
I've said that and I want that, but I can't. But where do I go be a player at? No one. I'm older now. I'm not. I've never been an attacker, and there's nothing. You shut up, because like you about to get me crash out. You and Hunter are supposed to try. I've gone to people like you. I don't have the connects.
Listen. I made it. I think did I not start a chat with you on one dude? Yes or no?
Yeah, and did it go anywhere? Yes or no?
Listen. I gave you the alley-oop. I'm like,
I said, hey, what's up? Like, no, I ain't never got a response. I don't even know how to find that chat no more.
I left the chat, homie. I did my part. I didn't know what was going on. And anyway, I also let somebody else know. I said, hey, if you ever need an alternate, make sure to look it up. But honestly, I'll add you. There's an ICPL free agents group. I'm gonna add you to that group. Just shoot me a text after this and remind me. But honestly, it's great. And you don't have to kill yourself. Like it's brutal, but it's fun. It's fun. So come on over. You too, Hunter. Let's go.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. And Norris, like, I contacted people and just could not get enough traction. So
I get it. And plus, I'm like.
It wasn't even you. It was me.
I know, but what I'm saying is, like,
I got Norris.
There's a lot more. There's a lot more hurdles you'd had to gone through. Like, so, and to bring up a good example, my best friend's Jared Lackey. He always commits first.
That's wild.
You got Corey right here.
I'm right here, bro.
I didn't say you weren't my best. Okay, anyway.
Norris, who's your favorite 21 in the Carolinas?
Can you shut the fuck up? Because I'm trying to talk
which
about
one
this
is it?
retro.
Is it
we're
me
about
or
to play.
Jared?
Who's your favorite 21 in the Carolinas?
Put it on record right now.
Well, I would say it'd have to be Corey, right? Because Corey wants to play with me. He wants me to be his backup man. We are a good 1-2 combo. That's what I'm literally about to complain about with Jared. Jared literally doesn't have a team, but because he told Gridlock or whoever they are now first that he would if they put a team together, he won't come play with us until the very last minute. I've literally been begging Jared since 2016 when I started paying him to train me for us to be on the same field together, and he's never done it unless it like benefit him. And what I mean, like, he started doing it with Tin Man when I was with Seattle Thunder because we were trying to build a bridge to get him back into the pro scene. But ever since he's been in the pro scene, he don't fuck with me on the field, bro.
He big timed you.
It's crazy.
He big timed you.
Hey guys, I gotta go check out my dog. I'll be right back.
All right.
I think that what you were saying, Hunter, about just being a player, I think Norris thinks that he wants to just be a player. I think deep down, though, Norris wants to have some sort of, have his little roots dug into a team and be able to control a little bit.
I think player coach is like perfect for Norris because Norris is like the perfect example of
the problem is
like
he won't
I want
play
my
himself.
cake and I'm going to eat it too. So being a player coach is perfect for Norris.
Well, look, hey,
Yeah,
Norris,
but it's never been
you can't
perfect
go
for
to
the teammate.
ICPL.
But listen, let's talk about that.
Why do you think it hasn't been perfect for the team?
Well, because I never have team members who either vibe or like believe in the cause or believe in my vision, right? I'm always having to fight with them. So that it might be perfect for me, but it's never perfect for the team I'm building because I always have our only max I've ever had is 2, maybe 3. But I ain't never had a solid 5 that I can make a line, right? And I know that they believe in me as much as I believe in them, and no matter what falls around us, we can always keep rebuilding because we have our core. Just never had that. My core's always been me and you. Like we've lost JP at times.
I think the closest thing that we could have actually had to was that 2021 Carolina Rays team where it was me, you, Bailey, both the Kimball brothers, and Ryan Callahan. If we actually could have made that a solid team, I think that was one of the only teams me and you have played on together that bought into the system, like didn't practice at all together, and listened to everything you had to say while you were playing on the field with us and made it work. And still took 4th out of how many teams in D3?
Yeah.
But we're all in a specific situation, so you're
make sure that finish it up.
You're in that situation.
Is your dog good though?
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, you're in that situation. I'm in the situation where, like, I like playing paintball. I miss playing it. And I've talked to you about it. Like, watching you on Hunter's podcast and everything makes me miss the times with you. I miss being on the field with my boys. But I'm now at a point where, like, I just can't stand dealing with, like Gavin said, the clicky players and the bitchiness. Like, it's just all that in divisional paintball right now, I feel like. And I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'd rather just play with my boys and have a good time at this point.
It saps the joy out of it, doesn't it?
I swear to God.
I think I eat it up, though. I think I like it.
Yeah, because that's what you love.
I think I like the chaos.
To talk about Hunter, then, you're right, because the most simplest and fun I've ever had in the last, I want to say 2 to 3 years, has been with Hunter and all the boys when it comes to mechanical stuff. That's why I'm excited about this retro thing. It's only 7 teams. Mm-hmm. Like, we get on there, we just shoot stuff, and we're done. Like, we're not getting into fights and bickering about other shit, or like we're just like drinking, eating, vibing, and playing. That's why the Tin Man's dope, and that's why this is going to be dope. And that's why I feel like, and here's what's going to crush my soul, and I'm going to feel even more lost. That's why I've always felt like ICPL was the move for me. If I happen to finally get in that scene and I have the same crushing feeling I've been having lately with national paintball, I'm going to feel like it's time to hang up paintball for good for me.
Nah. And XL's a good time.
I'm trying to go through like the times I stepped away, right? Like college, after the birth of my son, like I was still trying to play, but I distinctly, and I've told this before, I went to an event. We did not do well. And I found one of his toys in my gear bag. And I'd rather be home than here getting my shit kicked in, right? So took a little break. And then, yeah, you always find your way back, though. Like, that's my thing. So it's just better to find what makes you happy. What can you do to make it happy? Like, is it
I just sent you both the invite.
All right. Is it going to the mech events? Is it, you got to ask yourself though, Norse, because you're such a hustler. You're going to be happy not hustling.
Oh yeah. I haven't made any like real money in the last 2 years. Like, last year I broke even, so I just funneled all the money into a team, and I'm being called a thief, which is weird.
Breaking even is almost best case scenario, it seems.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, I funneled almost 15 to 20 grand into that, and for someone to cause drama and who's just bitter to say, hey, he's stealing from the program and taking this and that, and it's like, I don't know what her purpose was behind that. I know we're talking like very coded here because I just don't want to release it.
We'll crash out on that a different episode for sure.
I think I'm not gonna do that.
We'll crash out on.
Look, I heard that promise last episode, boys.
No, listen.
Not on that.
We'll have a full uncorked episode that we just get everything. Maybe not, because I ain't trying to get pulled down from YouTube here. I think we're at an hour 45 now. I think we wind down a bit, and I just wanted to know. I know it feels super weird asking guests if they have any questions, but y'all know Norse. Do y'all have anything for me or Corey that you want to know? Because I know we're not big enough in the paintball scene where we get our own episode. But if there's any little life questions you got about us, want to know where we're from, what we do,
we'll link it up. You can get your own episode, boys.
Oh my god!
Let's go.
Listen,
I'll remember to shout you out though, Norris. Don't worry, I got you.
We got Norris stories in the least for sure. A bunch of behind the scenes stuff. It's a good time though.
But honestly, though, like I know you said what you don't like about paintball. But honestly, just real quick, and nothing too corny, but honestly, we talked about it earlier. We got to do it because we love it. What do you love most about paintball still, though? What keeps you coming back to this toxic bitch?
Oh, my JP.
I like smacking the shit out of someone. And I wear glasses. I can't fight. I'm not allowed to fight. It doesn't work out for people with glasses. I like smacking the shit out of someone in the only form that I can. And fortunately, like the form of paintball that I play is on very often occasions really stupid aggression. In the last two events I've played, it's worked out really well. Just playing dumb aggressive, which is fun because then I get my adrenaline up. It's a fast point for me because I get killed, but I'm taking 2 or 3 with me. I'm not out of breath. I'm not tired, and I can last an entire event just throwing my body away, taking 2 or 3 with me, and I'm happy with that. That's what I love, though. The aggression and being able to smack the shit out of someone, not physically.
What's your answer?
So I'll start by saying them two are the 2 things that I love most about paintball. They keep me coming back to paintball even when I'm being a bitch and want to quit. But the sec outside of them, I love being the underdog, and Norris can probably attest to this. I love going into a match that we're not supposed to win, and then we end up smacking the shit out of somebody, and I'll throw it out there. Adrenaline and mech, whenever we beat the shit out of them, I loved it. Loved every second of it, and I loved talking shit to them. That's one thing. I say I hate the drama of paintball, but I love talking shit when I'm on that field. Love
it.
The biggest hot story I've ever seen.
I tell people all the time the best way to shut me up is to beat me. That's the best way to shut me up.
Well, before I let Hunter and Gavin say their outros, I definitely want to thank y'all for coming on. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. We've learned a lot from you. We will take it forward for sure. You will probably even see some of what y'all taught us in our very next episode because we don't even fucking know what we're going to do that episode yet. We're going to argue about that tomorrow, I'm sure. But I want to say that what y'all do is bigger than just paintball. And I know you say that's your niche, but like I already told Hunter this, y'all have brought me back from dark places. You made me reconnect and realize what moving forward. And I know if you're doing it for me, you're doing it for others. So just keep that in mind. Don't ever give up what y'all are doing because it's bigger than you just coming to shoot the shit sometimes with someone, whether it be your guest or whether someone's listening to that show. Y'all fucking matter to a lot of people. And I know y'all matter to me. And I want to say good job for what y'all been doing.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.